Welcome to Bladder Cancer Diaries number 25. Today is October 7th, Wednesday. Since I last gave an update, I switched all my care to Memorial Sloan Kettering in January of 2015. And that's because I was not a very happy camper at UHMC. And I just wanted to take advantage of the expertise of more experienced urologists and oncologists at Sloan Kettering. And I'm incredibly grateful that my insurance covers my ability to have care in New York City. I'm so grateful that I have access to that hospital. They have literally saved my bladder. And I continue to do my best to live with this chronic condition of recurrent superficial bladder cancer. So today I had to begin chemo again after surgery on September 21st. I've had 35 tumors so far, and today begins my first of 6 chemo installations into my bladder with mitomycin. I had that back in August of 2012, and the hopes of mitomycin are that the chemo coats the interior lining of the bladder, which is where they place the chemo. It doesn't go through my veins. I know a lot of people, when they hear the word chemo, they do think traditional intravenous chemo, but it isn't that. They instill it through a catheter directly into my bladder. It takes all of 5 seconds with a syringe and a catheter, and it's this purple concoction that when it coats the interior lining of the bladder, the hopes are that they keep any cancer cells from taking root on the bladder wall. And so far, out of 35 tumors, I've only had 1 tumor that progressed to a stage 2. At least that's according to HUMC. I suspect with better imaging technology and more experienced pathologists, however, at Sloan Kettering, I probably have never had a stage 2. I mean, at least that's what it's been like so far with Sloan Kettering. Because the technology is A1. I mean, everything. The imaging, the technology, the experience, just A1, top of the line. And again, I'm so blessed to be able to have the capacity to afford the kind of insurance and a stroke of pure luck that I live here in Jersey City and there in Manhattan. And it's relatively easy to get to. So that's what I did today, my first of 6 treatments. That's my 19th chemo intervention since this all began in August 2012. And my spirits are good. And partly that is always because I am lifted up by so many friends and family, colleagues in prayer and in love. And it makes all the difference in the world. And, it's a chronic condition. This is what I'm going to be living with. The important thing is in and out of my peaks of my, 90-day cystoscopies, crossing fingers that no tumors are there. And if they're there, hoping that they're in a location that they can just take out in the office. Because, I really don't want to have 3 surgeries a year. That's kind of what it's been like so far. But as it were, they're very minor surgeries. I'm only under anesthesia for a short amount of time. So I guess, whatever it's got to be, it's got to be. I mean, if they're there, we got to get them out. That's the most important thing, obviously. So there you go. The most recent update. And I had the installation at 8:35. I hold the chemical in my bladder for 2 hours. So at 10:35 a.m., I began what I call the purge, and that is to drink large quantities of water to flush the chemo out of my bladder. And, it's absolutely no risk to, anybody in my home, or it's not like I'm radioactive or carrying the BCG virus, which I did for, 12 of those 18 chemos. But I'm back to the low grade intervention, which is the mitomycin. And again, I just think that that's attributed to the real expertise of Memorial Sloan Kettering. So kudos to all those fabulous doctors and technicians and staff people that work in that facility. I know they've seen cases far more grave than mine. In fact, I just recently lost a friend to struggle with cancer who got treatment at Sloan where there was just no more that could be done. I mean, so, and that is a heartbreaking story for all the people that I do know we've lost to the battle of this ravaging disease of cancer, and to the ones that we've lost that I know not their names. So cancer is, it's deadly. I'm not sure how much of it's preventable. Perhaps in my case, had I not smoked cigarettes, I may not have this cancer. But lots of people have it. It's not so important about, I guess, why we get it, as much as we must find the willingness to find the cures, to pay for the research. And we're entering into this fall month of October. October 18th is breast cancer awareness. I mean, there's just like all kinds of year-round activities actually to promote awareness about various cancers, and to stimulate people to take action with their politicians and elected officials, to get the will to do the research, to fund the scientists, to get the trials, to get the drugs and medication, to end the suffering, to find the cure. I mean, I know we can do it. And I am wearing pink today, coincidentally. But, anyone who can hear this, I urge you to support research in any kind of cancer that you feel in your heart to submit your monies to, whether it's breast, ovarian, pancreatic, intestinal, colon, bladder, kidney, lung, brain. I mean, there's, skin cancer. There's so many types that I know that if these brilliant researchers had the funding, that we can make strides against these diseases and stem the tide of deaths, give people better chances of surviving that dreaded condition. As it is, I'm fairly lucky. I just continue to pray that my bladder remains resilient and we fight back any aggressive muscle invading tumors. It's really not much in my power, although, an overall improved health profile helps the body fight off anything that's unwanted. So I'm on that journey, and I appreciate everybody's support and love. Have a fantastic day. I'm going to spend the day drinking water and voiding, and resting, and then getting back to the important work that I do on behalf of vulnerable, marginalized children, youth, and families, which thank God I do that work. And good health to you all. Peace.